Hello, my name is Kevin Anderson with the Avaya Serviceability Engineering team. This video is about configuring roles and administrators for the AS5300 provisioning client. The provisioning client is a web-based tool used to configure access and permissions for system components. The user's access is dependent on the level of permissions assigned to their account. In today's demo, I will show how to create an admin role, copy an admin role and modify that role, assign privileges, and create an admin user and assign a role to that user. We will be starting this demo with the provisioning client open. You can find detailed instructions in the Avaya Aura Application Server 5300 2.0 using the provisioning client guide at the link shown. Now let's get started. The first thing we want to do is create a role for our new administrator. So we'll just open up admin, and under admin we'll select role. The role is the permissions that the user can have. So by defining a role and then applying it to a user, those permissions are what they have rights for. In this case, we can see we have the admin and the super user, which are the default built into the system. And so we're going to add a new role. So we'll click on the add button. So we want to give this role a meaningful name. And since I'm going to be giving this administrator address book management rights, let's make our name address book manager. And we'll just select address book manager, read and write permissions, and delete permissions. And then we'll save that. And we can see once it's completed, it gives us a message saying the admin role saved successfully. And if we look at the list, we can see we now have our address book manager. Now that's fine for just adding, say, one or two permissions to a user. We may want to have a role with only a slight change to its permissions from the role we already have. So in this case, I'll use a copy of the address manager role. And when I click on the copy, it will bring up the same admin privileges that we had in the address book manager. You can see right here, these three are checked, and the name is blanked out. Now we can enter in, we'll just make this a more powerful user. So we'll say he's going to do address book management and music on hold management. Okay. So we'll call him address music. And then we'll scroll down to the music on hold section. And then we'll give him read, write, and delete privileges, and then save the role. And we can see here that the admin role was saved successfully. And now let's show how to remove a role. So I'm just going to remove this address music one that we just created. And we just click on the delete button. And this opens a warning message telling us that this could be a service affecting deletion and that we need to confirm it with the admin password. So just an extra layer of security there so you don't accidentally delete something. And just use the admin password. And we can see that the admin role was deleted successfully. Now that we have our address book manager role defined, we need to add an admin user for that. So we'll click on the admin and add. With the add tab open, we can now see that we have three mandatory fields: the name, which will be the user account name, and then the password and confirm password. So those are the minimums that we need to do to define a user. In this case, I'm just going to use K. Anderson. And I'll just put in some of this other information. And then passwords. For this test, I'll type in a mismatched password. And then we'll save. When you make a mistake in putting in the password, you'll get this message, password and confirm password mismatch. So in this case, I typed in mismatched passwords, so let me do it again. And we'll save. So this time we can see that we have the admin saved successfully. And the next thing we need to do is define the role, which we just created, since we want this person to be the administrator address book manager. We'll click on that for the role. Click on save. The last thing we have to do is enable the account. And under the account policy, we select enable account. Now we could disable password aging and also enforce password change on login. For this demo, I'm not going to do that. And we save that. And we'll just open up the list and take a look at the newly created user. And we can see that K. Anderson has never logged in. So let's log out of the administrator and log in as K. Anderson. And so we'll put in the username. And now that we're logged in as K. Anderson, we can see that the only services we have access to are the client interface, advanced address book. Okay, so let's log out now. And we'll log back in as administrator. And the last thing we need to do is we'll need to remove that user. So if we go to lists, and if we delete, so we'll click on delete, and we get the warning message, and we have to confirm with the admin password. So we can see that we're now back to our default admin account, and that concludes our demo for today. Thank you for your time today. We hope this information was helpful. We welcome your comments, questions, and feedback at mentor@avaya.com or on Twitter @AvayaMentor. Thank you for choosing Avaya.